Hello.
Hello. Welcome everyone to Worship and Wellness. Thank you for joining us on this Monday evening for a mental health check-in. Hi.
Yes. Hello, everybody. We are Worship and Wellness, where we believe in biblical principles with practical steps. So, how are you feeling today? How are you?
Jakar, I'm doing great today. It was a Monday. It's a Monday. So work and life and home responsibilities. So I'm feeling it. How are you doing today?
It's Monday, but it's going to be a short week, Memorial Day weekend. So, I'm excited to have Monday off next Monday. So, I'm looking forward to
Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot. So yes, that gives us something to look forward
it.
to. Do you have plans?
Yes, it's actually my family reunion, so heading down to North Carolina this weekend. I'm really excited to see everybody.
Oh my gosh. Well, that is a great lead in to our topic tonight for our
Yep,
mental health check-in, just to kind of see how everyone's doing, where everyone's at, and how we can help ourselves. We're almost halfway through the year.
I
So,
know.
can you believe it?
It's almost June. Like time is flying.
It is. It is. And I know sometimes we can, get down or kind of feel stuck, or, it just seems like yesterday we were setting those New Year's
Mm.
resolutions and we had energy around what we wanted to do for the year. So we just wanted to check in and see how we're really feeling, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Yes, if you're watching, please post in the chat. We would love to hear from you guys how you're feeling emotionally. Well, I can say we want to start with each other. Is that
Sure, that's
where
perfect.
we're at? Okay. Um, for me, mentally, I think I'm in a better space than I was at the beginning of the year. Um, I had a goal of going to the gym more consistently, and I've been keeping it for at least 3 months. So hopefully, it'll continue throughout the year.
Great job.
I know.
Great job.
What about
Wow.
you?
So I did set a goal at the beginning of the year and I kind of lost track of that goal. I think I was on track
Mhm.
for about a month and a half. And
Mhm.
then it kind of slipped my mind, and a couple days turned into a couple weeks, and a
That's all
couple
right.
weeks turned into a couple months. So I'm going to rededicate myself to my goal. I also had set a goal to go to the gym
Mhm.
and to eat some more fruits and vegetables this year, to be intentional about that in my meals and my meal planning. Um, but life started lifing. But I'm gonna get back on track,
That's all that matters.
and I'm gonna try to finish strong. I'm gonna try
Mhm.
to finish strong. So I think
That's
that's
a. What were you saying?
no. I just said I think I'm gonna try to finish strong and focus on that, and not what's behind me is behind me, and I'm just gonna start fresh and finish strong. So.
Literally, that's all we can do. If you fall off, and this is for everybody that's watching. If you fall off, just pick it back up. Pick it back up.
Right back up again. You always get another chance and another day
Literally,
to try again, right? And be better than the day before, and baby step it.
baby step.
Baby steps. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, in the midst of it all, as we head into our halfway point of the year, how are you, Jakar, or anyone that's on the call, um, finding rest?
Ooh,
Is she?
I am very horrible at resting. I think rest looks different for everybody. I think, um, but what I am striving for is to have better sleep to rest. Um, I can mope. Well, not mope. I'm not gonna say mope, but I can lounge all day long. But is that actual rest? Like, cause I feel like my mind might be going 10 miles per hour. So, um, even though physically I might be resting, but mentally I'm not. So I'm trying to find the balance of actually resting, not thinking about anything, and taking that time for my body to take that time in. How
Yeah,
are you taking time for rest?
for sure. That is a good question. And I need to and I need to just be honest and transparent. My mind goes 1,000
Mm-hmm.
miles a minute every day, all day. And like you said, there are times when I lounge, but I'm still thinking about
Mm-hmm.
what needs to be done for everyone around me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we put ourselves last, but we think about how can we serve our kids, our family, how can we be good siblings and children to our parents and friends to our friends. And so um, I'm always thinking, and sometimes I get overwhelmed
Literally,
just
yeah.
thinking about how much has to be done, and I think have to do it all myself, and so I need to take some time to actually rest and rest my mind and my spirit for sure.
That's
I
a good
mean,
point.
yeah.
When you're saying like what takes up most of our mental space, like it's
Oh
so
my
many
goodness.
things. Like you listed a lot as far as like having kids and your spouse and work, but like what really takes up a lot of that mental load? Is it guilt? Is it, shame that you're not able to finish everything that you wanted to do that week? I know I struggle with that.
Yeah. Having a to-do list for the week, and then you look at it and it's getting longer and longer and not shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
Or also kind of having the mindset that you have to earn rest. Like, did I do enough
Oh, that's good.
to deserve to rest? And then the self-talk that you tell yourself,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, I have been so guilty sometimes of just a negative self-talk, like, oh my goodness, are you lazy because you didn't do this? Or the
Mm-hmm.
guilt for sure is huge. But the word, right,
Yeah.
tells us, the Lord says, come to me, all who are weary, right, and heavy laden, and I'll
Yeah.
give you rest.
He
So
will give it to us. Like it reminds me of that scripture. I think it's Psalms 23 where he's like, he lays me beside still waters, like
oh,
he restores my
my
soul. Like
soul.
I never really understood that. As a kid you just recite scriptures, but like actually listening to that and rereading that over and over, like he really makes it a
Restores us.
point for you to rest. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And it's not for us to restore our soul. He does that.
he does that. That
Yeah.
is true. Oh my gosh, and to pray that and speak that
Yeah.
over ourselves, like
That's
God will
definitely
give
an
us
affirmation. Like, restore my soul.
restore my soul, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, and are we leaning on God and
Yeah.
his word in our mental health, in our spiritual health, and our physical health? Are we leaning on him and depending on him? Or are we trying to stand in our own strength and get it all done?
9 times out of 10, we probably are trying to stand in our own strength. Like, just thinking about May, it is mental awareness month, but like, there's so many things going on in May. Like,
Mhm.
graduations and family reunions and I don't know, the kids' concerts and
Oh yeah. All their end of the year concerts and
yeah.
picnics and spirit days and yep, and all the things you have to keep track of and make sure that things
Mm-hmm.
are in line for that, and then prepare, if you have kids and you're looking towards the next year, then is that all set up, right? If they're transitioning to new schools or new experiences, Camps. Are your kids signed up for camp? And what is
Okay. I just don't understand like the registration process. Like I didn't even think I had to plan so far ahead in my life, but like literally, if you do not plan for that, you will miss it.
and you think you have time, and then you go on and you're like, oh my gosh, this is full, and this is
Okay.
full, and this is full. Oh my goodness, yeah. That almost starts at the in the new year in January.
Mm-hmm.
So
To
then,
register, like
absolutely,
look for
absolutely,
options.
yeah, for
But
sure, for sure.
yeah, that's whew,
So
that can
you
cause stress and anxiety.
that is a lot of stress and anxiety. And then if you know, there might be people on the call where you're looking for a new job,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or you're transitioning to a new situation in life, and that brings on stress. Sometimes people are moving this time of year.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that just brings on a lot of stress too. So you brought up something though. You have a family reunion coming up.
Yes.
And that made me start thinking about the relationships we have around us and how they
Mm-hmm.
help us and support us.
Right.
So, are there, how are we, or anybody on the call, like nurturing those relationships in our life to
That's
help us?
that's a good question. I have been in the past couple of years more intentional about showing up for people, like
Mm,
just being transparent. Like I'm a military spouse, so this is like the closest we've been to home. So before this we lived in California, so like traveling back and forth was atrocious and paying for, you get what I'm saying.
mm-hmm,
So, living here in Maryland, it's been great to like, if there's a family event or if there's a birthday, I can try to get there. And I think that has helped nurture the relationships. I might not be able to call you every day or text you every day, but like the big stuff, I really try
mm-hmm.
to make a point to be there, and that seems to foster a relationship. But also here in Maryland, trying to build those friendships too that are local, like
Mm-hmm.
actually making an effort to show up for people is important. How are you
Oh,
doing?
that's great. I just think, how am I doing? I There's a lot happening in my family right now. We have a
Yeah.
few family members who are ill.
Hmm.
So I'm being intentional about showing up for them, but also to be a shoulder for
Yeah.
other members of my family when they need a sounding board or they need support, or
Hmm.
just trying to do the little things, checking in on family members and friends. Um, I'm not the type of person that calls all the time.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to be better at checking in, making a phone call or sending a text like I'm thinking about you, um, and just trying to do the little things to show up um, for the people in my life.
You know what I found like has been helpful? Like whenever God places somebody on my heart, I try to like in that moment
Mm.
out in some way. So I
Oh, that.
feel like He's doing it on purpose. And then 9 times out of 10, if I don't do it, the following week when I see them or talk to them, something happened, and I'm like,
Something happened, right?
I should have did. I should have reached
Yeah.
out. I should have did what I was supposed to do. So that brings up a good point of like it doesn't have to be strenuous. It doesn't have to be
Right.
extra. Just how you doing? Just a check in. How you doing?
Mhm. Mhm. Because sometimes we feel like, and most of the time it's not true, but sometimes we feel like we have to go through things alone, or that we're in
Mm-hmm.
a situation alone, and we're really not.
Right.
Um, God put us here on earth together, to build relationships and to be in communion with each other. So
Right.
I just try to keep that at the forefront of my mind. And I'm like, you have to be the friend that you want, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
family member that you want. And so healthy boundaries absolutely are good, but just trying to reach out every now and then or on a regular basis to to the important people in your life. But as a military spouse, how do you that's challenging as you move around from place to
Mhm.
place. Then you've had to build a support system
Yeah,
wherever you are.
yeah, that's difficult for it's very difficult for us to do because we just don't have that family here. So like, we have kids, so trying to find people that would align or people that
Mhm.
have kids to play with them. I know it's a little taboo, but I'm kind of introverted, so like
Mm.
having kids pulls me out to that extrovert side. So it's kind of
Mm.
like I have to make an effort because now my kids want to go play. So it is difficult and finding trustworthy people. But thankfully, Fresh Start has definitely given us that opportunity and community that we need, like getting involved. And that brings me to another point, like understanding where you are, because I realized, like, at some point we were like isolating and not really reaching out to people or just saying no, we're okay, but like really we were suffering because we didn't really know how to make community. So
Mhm.
important to try and give the effort, and just see where things go.
That's great. I think yes, tapping into your church community,
Yeah.
tapping into friends and family that are like-minded, that
Mm-hmm.
energize you. Yeah, and feeling connected is helpful and belonging. So,
So how are you saying yes to things that align for your peace, or are you saying no to align with your peace?
so I am also very introverted. So, but I tend to say yes to a lot, and then
Yeah, yeah.
and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do?
Right.
What did I do to myself? So I'm actually trying to say yes to more, and because I mean, I could say no to a lot and then really be a hermit and
Hmm.
and in the house and quite content, quiet and quite content. So I'm trying to find a healthy balance where I'm putting myself out there and
Hmm.
saying yes to the things that feel good or things that I know are going to be a benefit to me, even if it pushes me out of my comfort zone some. And then when I need to say no, I know that that's a complete sentence and that I can say no.
That's good.
Saying yes to the things that challenge me and are energizing um, is also good and feeds my spirit. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what I did. But
Right. How
so
do
that
you
gives me a
balance
little bit of joy.
how do you balance that, or do you work that in every month, or like is that just something you whenever somebody asks is what I'm doing?
So whenever somebody asks, I kind of check in with myself.
Okay.
Like, is this, is it positive? Does it align with who I am and my values? And is it going to add to my life? And can I serve somebody in doing this? Then it's going to be okay. Yes. Then, make the commitment and follow through. You're going to follow through. But then another, someone might ask something and when I check in with myself, I'm like, no, that really isn't, what I'm about, or I don't really feel that that's something that I need to do, then I can say no and not feel guilty or
Mm.
worried um, that I'm hurting somebody's feelings, or I'm kind, but I
Yeah,
do say no. But yeah.
I think that's so important to understand, like no is a complete sentence, and it's okay if it doesn't really land well sometimes.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
I think that's half the battle for me, at least. Like I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to make anyone feel bad, but at the same time, I don't want to suffer either, because you want me
Right.
to do something.
Right.
So
So true. So true. So when is the last time you did something just for yourself?
Ooh, when's the last time? I really feel like showing up for myself for the gym and running. I know I keep talking about it, but it
Mm.
really puts me in a place of like, oh, I did that for me today. Like, even if it was 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I can really appreciate giving myself that time and like challenging myself. I don't think about anybody else during that time. It's just me, my body. I think I'm very mindful of how my body is working in that time. So it's
Mm.
kind of, I don't know, it's like a switch now. Like I never used to be like this, but since going to the gym and like running and stuff, it's just been like, wow, I have this time to be in line. Like, what part of my body is aching? What's going on in my mind? Like, I can really be attuned to myself in that time. So,
That's
what are you
awesome.
doing?
This is what I do. So this might sound a little weird. So
It's
you know
not weird.
how
It's not weird.
yes, you just go you know you have so many things. So you get up, right? You get up, you do all the morning stuff, then you have to go to work. Then you go to work, you do all the work stuff. Then you come home and you as soon as you get home, you then it's like dinner and all the home like what do I need to clean and I need to wash clothes and I need to, do all the home stuff. So now I built in like a little transition time
Mm-hmm.
between work and home. So I actually drive home and I park and I sit in my car. Okay. And that's when I kind of switch my brain, like download the workday in my brain, right? And file that away. And then before I go into the house and get to the hustle bustle of the stuff that's in the house, then I'm like, okay, just take a few minutes to yourself and just be quiet. I might pray, meditate, breathe, do some deep breathing, and I just sit in the quiet, not on my phone, not the radio, just in the quiet. And then sometimes, if I really need a transition time, I might get out of my car and like walk around my neighborhood or do a couple laps
Mm-hmm.
around my neighborhood before I go into the house. Because I know as soon as I get into the house, then I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
what's for dinner? We got to do this. I got to do that. I got to get ready for tomorrow. Then I'm on to the evening home treadmill of it all. So that's what I have been doing lately. And it's really helping
Mm-hmm.
me to be centered and present when I come
Yeah.
into the house. That the things that are here get my full attention and my workday is put away. Um, because otherwise I'm still riled up from work and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about everything that happened at work and then I'm doing all the house stuff and I'm not really here,
Mm.
my family at home because my mind's on all the things. So that's what I've been trying to do. Is quiet
That's
my mind.
like, I think as a kid, I never realized like why my mama would just sit outside her car whenever she would pull up. But now I get it.
Oh yes.
I totally get it.
Oh yes. Before everybody's like, "What's for dinner? Where is
Mm-hmm.
that? I need this or you need that or I'm like just give me a few minutes in the quiet. Everything's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is on fire. Just take the few minutes." So
That reminds me of like, well, a situation I had with my husband. Like, he's in the Navy, as we all know, but like he struggled with having that time to transition.
mm,
So like trying to decompartmentalize, like, okay, you're not there anymore. Like literally, like what you said, switching your brain. So it made me think about like how many men struggle with having that time to transition from work to home,
mm-hmm.
you know? And are we as women allowing time and space for them to transition into the home? Because it is a hustle and a bustle. I get it.
Yes.
And kids don't stop, but to be present, like you were saying, and to
Mhm.
really be fully here, mind, body, and spirit, like how many of us are allowing that time to transition? Or are we using a buddy system? Are we, like me and my
Mhm.
husband, hey, you got 30 minutes, go do what you want to do, take a shower, go whatever. I'll take the kids. And then when it's my turn, he already know. Look, they all yours. Give me my time to just, transition. So I love that. I love
Absolutely. And we are there to be a helpmate to each other, right? And to check
right.
in with each other, like, where are you? Where am I? And
Mm-hmm.
what do I need in this? And you're right, because sometimes, and I'll be the first to admit, sometimes I can come in before I started my little transition period. Will come in hot, like with
Okay.
all the questions and all the things and all.
Already irritated.
Right, the
Thank you
home
for
to-do list is scrolling
mm-hmm.
down thing, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I need a transition, but you're right? He needs a transition too. And how do we check in? I saw I was watching a TikTok,
Okay.
and somebody was saying that they check in with their spouse, like, where are you on
Mm,
a like, what is your capacity,
that's
right? Just
good.
even like, what percentage are you at? Are you at 50 and I'm at 50, or are you at 80 and I'm at 20, or you're at 20? So I mean, we don't do that, but we do, check in with each other, like, you're good, what do you need? So
I think that's good. Like having, well, not even just understanding where they're at, but like also what can you give right now? If you
mm,
have that, if you're at 20 and I'm at 20, we both can give each other grace to be like, hey,
yes.
we both know we're not at a good space, but we're just gonna get power through and then keep on moving. But I love that, being able to know what you're able to give.
And you brought up something great just now, grace.
Mm-hmm.
How are we giving ourselves grace
Right.
in season 2? Just forgiving ourselves
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and giving ourselves grace, or forgiving others, right? Like God forgave us. How are we extending grace to ourselves and others
So
this
good.
season? I know I'm working on my parents. I'm in that generation where I still have young men, right, that I'm raising, and then I have older parents that
Mm-hmm.
need um, attention and support and help.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing my parents in a different light than
Mm.
I've seen when I was younger, right? And extending them grace, like realizing they're only human, and they don't have all the answers, and they didn't always, they did the best that they could.
Right.
So just extending grace and understanding to them as I get older, and I'm like, oh, they didn't know everything, and they didn't have all the answers, and they were just doing the best that they could, and they're still doing the best that they can. And so not being so harsh on them, but
Uh,
extending grace to them. Yeah,
That's
it's a lot.
that's tough. I can't imagine like navigating that and still having to raise your own kids, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
tough.
it's definitely, you feel kind of caught in the middle, and
Mm-hmm.
like pulled on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And it doesn't sound like you're coming from a place of like, oh, I'm just upset that I have to do those things. It's just like, okay, it can be a duality of like, I'm going through that, but I'm also, happy to do it.
Happy to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, our parents raised us. How could it be that I would be impatient or
Mm-hmm.
short, right? With the people that taught you everything in life, right? They taught you how to use a spoon. You can't
Yeah.
you can't take the time, whether it's even something simple like teaching technology, or they have a lot of questions about whatever, or it's like whatever they need, right?
Yeah.
Those are my parents, whatever they need, whatever I have to give, I
Mm-hmm.
owe them, right?
Yeah.
A lot. So everything. But yeah, it can feel like a duality. It can feel like you're being pulled in a lot of different directions. And it's a blessing to still have my
Right.
parents alive, right? That's a blessing. Thank God, right, that they're still in my that I have a relationship, that they're still in my life, and that they're still here on earth.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel blessed in that way, but I know that sometimes it can be stressful. It can be stressful and it can be a lot, but just looking at them as regular people, right?
Right.
With challenges and imperfections and worthy of grace, just like just like us all.
That's a good point. Like, I don't. It takes a long time for, I think, individuals to finally see their parents as a person. Like, they're not
Mhm.
just your parent. Like, before my mother was my mother, she was a woman. She had a life. Like, you know what I mean?
She
Even
had a
now,
whole life.
okay. And even now, like, I have a understanding. I talk to my mom like, I'm just talking to you woman to woman now. Like, take the mom hat off. Let's just
Hmm.
have the conversation. And I really appreciate that wisdom and understanding, like, they've experienced some things and I can take some stuff from it. And at the same point in time, they can take some stuff from us too.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. So are you into journaling? Right.
Oh, I used to be. I think that's something effort I have to make myself do every day. I have to remind myself. Are you a journaler?
I'm not.
Okay.
I was just wondering if there's
I I thought you
is
were about to
there
say
anybody
yes.
that was.
No.
No, I mean, there are a lot of different strategies, right, that we use to cope with our feelings and emotions and
Hmm.
thoughts. Um, but no, I should try. But no, I haven't been.
It's so like, that's something that's very intentional. Most, like, all coping skills, but I feel like picking up a pen and actually sitting down and writing, my hands gonna cramp up before everything gets over. But I think it's very therapeutic. So maybe we should try
Maybe we could try it.
a week or so.
Yep, yep.
Just
We'll say maybe like once a week. Like start all.
yeah.
I'm all about baby steps. I'm like,
Hmm.
we can start once a week and see what that feels like
Definitely.
and what comes up, what bubbles up, and maybe that'll be helpful.
Yeah.
I know they have a lot of like prayer journals and
Hmm.
like scripture of the day type journals, to link in just the mental and your spiritual health together. So
That's something.
you should try that.
Use your notes app if that's something that's
Mm.
easier. Like, I mean, yes, it's still journaling, but I feel like it would be a little bit more intentional if, like, you had pen and paper, like, actually separating from the phone, because I feel like the phone adds a bit of stress too.
Mm, that's true.
Right.
It's just tempting to
It is.
click off that notes app and click on something else, and
Okay.
then then you're scrolling, and then it's hours later.
Like, so with that point, do you feel connected? Do you use, like, social media to feel connected to people or no?
No, I I don't know because I sometimes I feel like um I can see how it can be used that way to feel connected. I just sometimes I feel like social media is not real.
Hmm.
So it's for me, it's fun
Okay.
to see. It's like entertainment to me. But no, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it doesn't it sometimes it just doesn't seem real.
Okay.
Like, what about you?
I can see that standpoint. I think I just, not to say you're old or anything. I'm
I
not.
know, right? It's
I'm
just,
not. But I
it's
do.
okay. You can say it.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that because somebody called me old. But
I don't know.
I feel like the younger generation, I think they do use it to
Mm,
connect. Um, And I'm all for like sending me videos. I feel like that's a love language to me. If you
Okay.
I appreciate it. You
Okay.
thought about me to send that to me. But
I see that. I see that
that's
point.
that's
Okay.
just my own little thing. But I do understand it could be distracting and it could seem like it's not a real reality too. Like you're not really here.
No, but I see your point. Like they thought about you enough to send you
Mm-hmm.
a video or something. Yeah. Okay.
It's all about how you look at it. Like we got
I love that.
a healthy reframe.
Yes. Yes. I love a healthy reframe. Okay. Okay. Because I'm sometimes when I'm looking at, not that I don't have social, I have
Yeah.
social media and I do scroll. And so that is a healthy reframe because I kind of think of it like, is it just for show? Are
Mm,
you really genuinely sharing?
yeah.
Or is it like a competition of like who can get the most? Like, and I have enough stress. I don't need that. I don't need
Understood.
that stress in my life about likes and views and clicks or
Understood.
whatever. I don't know. So I don't, yeah. I feel like maybe I set a healthy boundary for myself because I feel like I could go down
A rabbit.
a rabbit hole of, oh my goodness.
It's bad for me, but I'm trying. I really.
No, but I love a healthy reframe. So that's that. I mean, because that's a good way. If that fuels you and makes you feel connected, then
Mm-hmm.
that's a positive. Then that's a positive, right? As long as it's um feeding you in a positive way.
But I'm like, use it, like overly use that as like a reason not to
Like
reach
an
out. Yeah,
escape, like an
yeah.
escape. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, there are worse ways to escape for sure. So
Affirm me. Thank you so much. You are affirming. You are
for
affirming.
sure. Oh my goodness. So do you have someone in your life that you can talk to when you feel like things are getting heavy or getting overwhelming? Or I think it's important that we, identify people in our lives that we can reach out to when life is lifing.
Yes, I do. Um, I am trying to work on though, like figuring out what my feeling is before I reach out, because
Mm,
I do
mhm.
realize that in the moment when I'm reaching out, if I'm upset or something, I kind of go to people that I know that's gonna like affirm or validate me,
Okay. Okay.
and I'm like, after the phone call, I'm like, dang, that's not what I really needed. I really needed someone to be like, no, let's think practically. So I'm trying to figure out.
Mhm.
Oh, in addition to that, I be feeling extra stuff that I wasn't even coming into the conversation with, and I'm leaving with more emotion. I'm
More emotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, you know
Yeah.
what? So I'm trying to identify what my emotion is first, and like, is it true? Because my husband loves to say feelings are not facts, which I'm like,
Mhm.
it's true.
Mm.
Just a very emotional person, so when they come up, it's true to me, and we
Yes,
go,
yes,
you
yes.
know.
I totally understand.
What about you? Do you have someone to talk to?
I think I agree with you. I'm trying to be better at one, sitting with it first, whatever the
Mm-hmm.
feeling is,
Mm-hmm.
and feeling it
Right.
first for myself and trying to understand what it means to me first. And then the next thing I'm trying to do is go to God first
Ooh.
before I go
Mm-hmm.
to anybody else. I'm like, take it to God first,
Right.
right? Because he's there, he's waiting, he wants to hear from you, and then listen,
Mm-hmm.
be quiet, be quiet. That's hard. Be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Be quiet and listen first before I go to other people. But I do have, I mean, yeah. I do have people in my life that I know that I trust
Mm-hmm.
and that I know care about me and want the best for me, right? That I can go to when it's really when I'm really feeling down or I'm really feeling um, underwater or like just overwhelmed. I
Mm-hmm.
have now that circle's not big. I mean, the circle is small.
That's okay.
You have that. I do have people, but I am trying to be better about sitting with it, like you said, sitting with it for myself first, and then the second thing is going to God before I go out, because you can call I can call the whole circle,
Okay.
right, and talk to this person and see what they think, and talk to that person and see what they think, and I never even
Thought about it.
gave myself time, right, to
Mm-hmm.
reflect on it or sit with the feelings. And then I realized I went to all the people and I didn't even talk to God about it.
Oh.
I'm like, oh wait. Let me go to my father
Mm-hmm.
first, right? Let me go to the center. And if I put him in the center and I say he's in control, why didn't I go to him with it?
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You preach. You
That
preach.
has come
You
that
preach.
has come after years and years. I'm like, wait a minute. You said
Mm-hmm.
in control and you said he's the center, but yet you talked to everybody and you didn't go to him. Or you went to him last when you should have went to him first. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's I'm still growing in that area. I'm still growing and learning in that area. But yeah.
Because we are not lean. We're leaning on our own understanding, and it's a skill. I definitely agree. Agree with that. But I like how you said like you're sitting in it and you're not judging yourself.
Hmm.
This a lot of us do, and I think well for myself, it's hard to sit in silence. Like it's very uncomfortable.
Mm.
So like trying to feel space whenever I can. Like I'm the type of person if I'm in a room by myself, I'm gonna just put on some music. I'm not even listening to it. I'm not coherent about what it's saying.
Hmm.
Noise is something
Noise.
space.
Hmm.
And I'm learning to sit in the silence. Like I was on a Bible study, it's kind of a testimony. In California I had a friend and they did Bible studies with us and I had mentioned the same thing, like I struggle with sitting in silence. So she would call me every day and on
Hmm.
the phone with me and was like, we're just gonna sit here in silence. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell her, like, I'm trying to, get off the call. Like, this is just too much for me. I can't do it. But after time, I was like, you know what? You're right.
Oh
Something
wow.
that God had to deal with me. But, like, I didn't ask her to do that. Like, God literally put on her heart the next day to just call me and be like, you know what? We're just going to sit here together.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yes.
that's
That is a friend.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was tough. And, like, a godly friend that really
Mhm.
reached out to me in that way. And Mercedes, if you're seeing this, I love you, girl. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, God will put people in your life
Yes.
to push you, right? And to highlight places
Mm-hmm.
where you need to grow, right? So that's amazing. I love that. I love that for you.
Girl, I'm still trying to pray. Hopefully the Lord's placing on my
Oh,
heart to do that. To pay it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what does your spirit need right now?
That what does my spirit need? So I'm gonna be transparent. I
Mm-hmm.
just had a little breakdown yesterday
Oh.
because I've been praying for my children
Mm-hmm.
and their hopes and dreams and the gifts and talents that God has placed in them, that they will be revealed to them
Hmm.
and the purpose for their life. Um, people say it's hard when your kids are younger, but really, when they get older, it's just different. It's different concerns and different prayers. And I just want them to walk in their purpose. And I got overwhelmed. I
Yeah.
got overwhelmed because I felt the weight of the responsibility
Mm.
of being their mom and wanting the best for them. And I found myself in this cycle of praying but also worrying,
Mm.
not giving it to God, like praying and then worrying and then stressing and then praying, worrying, stressing. And somebody in my circle, after I sat with my feelings and cried and then prayed about feelings, said, "You're supposed to give it to God, right? And trust and have faith and believe. You're not supposed to then worry and stress and then get overwhelmed by the worry. And you prayed about it,
Mm.
right? You prayed about it. Let it go. Let go and let God. Yes, they're your children, but they're his children,
That's so good.
right? They're your children, but they're his children. And
First.
right, first, before he knew them. He
Mm.
knew them before you knew them, before they were placing you. He knew them. He knew every day of their life, right? Was planned. He knew the purpose he had for them. And
Mm.
so you just have to, yes, pray, but also have faith and believe and let go.
Yeah.
And so that was what my spirit needed, that reminder of have faith, believe and trust God. And then God will give you the peace,
Mm.
right? About that. So that's what my spirit needed. How about you?
Woo. Um. Probably having peace too, like in wherever we're going. Like I try to be a planner, but
Hmm.
um, God is really doing the work. Like, and I'm there's lots of changes happening, and I realize that I don't do well with change. So, trying to have peace while he's literally changing things. So that's really what my spirit needs, just peace, not in the storm, but yeah.
Through the change.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean I'm learning, like, just because things are changing doesn't mean that he's changing. It's
Right.
just things around me, and I think it's changing for the better. But when things are changing, it's just different. It's new. It's not something you can expect. So not beating myself up either for not, I guess, being my most optimal self in that change, because
Mm.
you don't know how you're gonna navigate. It's
Right.
it's a
Right.
whole new playground. So trying to give myself grace in that too,
Yep.
to get through it.
And it's hard and we're human,
Right.
right? So,
That spoke to me.
wow.
Peace. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
Mm.
Woo! You giving words today.
Wow.
You realize you just preached to yourself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, God is real. He is real and he is working
Literally.
in and through us every day, every day. So I do have another question. I know we're coming up on time,
Yeah.
but how are you or anybody that's on the call, how are we still dreaming and setting goals
Ooh.
for ourselves? God doesn't want us to feel stuck or be stuck. How are we still dreaming and setting goals?
know. I think, like what you were saying earlier, having those baby steps and
Mhm.
finding delight in the small things. I think things that challenge me. Um, because it gets so redundant in like the same routine all the time. But like having, hey, if I want to learn how to braid a different way, that's challenging enough to me to like stimulate my brain to do something
Mhm.
else. So yeah, just finding delight in the little things. What are you? How are you keeping the dream alive?
How am I keeping the dream alive? Just um looking for opportunities, right, to grow. And I am the queen of baby stepping. So I want to celebrate every little thing,
Yeah.
right? Because I think the little things lead to the big things.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to see the good in the little things every day. Yeah. And knowing that that's going to lead to the big things. So,
I think that's
no.
so good. Well, as we're wrapping up, what do you think is one takeaway for us tonight for the check-in?
Oh, good question. I think there have been a lot of takeaways, but I think one takeaway for tonight that I'm gonna remember um, is no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Um, I think you said
Mm-hmm.
grace for ourselves and for others always. And then your last sentiment of right, keep
Yeah.
dreaming, keep moving forward, looking for God. He's
Mm-hmm.
still doing miracles. He's still doing miracles
Every
every
day.
day, every day.
Every day.
So, how about you?
I think I'm gonna take yours. Having faith and not doubting. Just letting it go, releasing it, and watch him do it.
And watch him do it.
Watch him do it.
All right.
Oh, one more little update for us. Um, Worship and Wellness is having a conference, a conference, July 16th through the
Through the
19th.
19.
Yes, we're gonna have some virtual sessions, also in-person sessions. Please come out. We would love to for you guys to be there. And then also we have a challenge coming up for the summer, so stay tuned for that. If you guys remember the Be Well challenge that we did last year, we're trying to bring that back in a better way. So hopefully we're all able to have something to challenge us to dream about this summer.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes. Have a good night, guys.